Hey guys, Zen here, and let us deal with the elephant in the room. Here's the sub count. Subscribe, guys. We're getting dangerously close to that 300K, and it's just a massive goal. And so, if you've been watching for a while, hit the subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Speaking of talking to friends, it's incredibly important to check up on a friend's wallet health. And so, if you're concerned, I recommend you check out the Ridge wallet and today's video sponsor. The Ridge is a front pocket style wallet that's compact and ready to replace your friend's old stuffed mess back there with something a bit more clean and durable. Each wallet is put together by two metal plates bonded with an elastic band, which makes it super reliable and easy to use. Of course, there's a variety of styles to choose from. They'll ship it to you anywhere on the globe, and with Father's Day right over the horizon here, it's the perfect gift to share with that special man in your life. And so guys, head over to ridge.com/zen and use code ZEN at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. No matter if it's for a loyal friend or your incredible dad, your Ridge is guaranteed for life. And so click the link in the description to learn more, and thanks to Ridge for supporting the channel. I got it.
Oh my god, you came up.
Now, today we're going to speak on Rainbow Six Siege, but there's also been a big new reveal and a ton of details to go over, and so let's jump in. First up, we're going to get into the health of the game. There's been a lot of talk from around the community that Siege is on its last legs here, and the devs have actually sent through some updates that should make things a bit more manageable. So, offline bans have officially made their way to Rainbow Six Siege. If you guys haven't kept up, to actually receive a ban in Rainbow Six, you had to be online and connected to the servers. So, if you could imagine a hacker exploiting the game and basically never logging back into the account, it makes it so that BattlEye has a tough time actually detecting the hacks until the next time you log in. With the offline bans though, it is now possible to be detected before the next time you log onto the game, and you can receive a ban while your account is offline. The result of all this has been massive MMR rollback gains, because if a hacker is just bouncing from account to account, then you, as the victim of the exploits, actually never receive the MMR you lost, unless of course you're a god and hackers can't even stop your reign. So if you've logged into Rainbow Six Siege recently and have randomly received 100 or so plus MMR back, and you can thank offline bans for some rank. Now, moving on to a very exciting update for my console supporters out there. The issue of mouse and keyboard use on those platforms may be resolved sooner than we may have anticipated, and better yet, it's being looked at by Ubisoft and the devs. So previously, there was an announcement that Ubisoft really couldn't do much in trying to deal with mouse and keyboard on console. Like, it was basically put that the console manufacturers had to kind of look into this because they actually allow these connections, and both Microsoft and Sony don't really see this as an exploit, at least from a general platform level. But over on Twitter, the Ubisoft support team responded to a player who was actually experiencing enemies who were using mouse and keyboard, and they had this to say. Just hear this. The Rainbow Six Siege team is currently investigating solutions for mouse and keyboard users, and we appreciate your patience while we work on it. They go on to say that they'll send the names given out to the security team and look into it. So this is actually an ongoing investigation for the console community, and it looks like Ubisoft is taking this very seriously. Now, in the past, mouse and keyboard use on console and Rainbow Six Siege has been confirmed to be cheating. If you're someone who is using those inputs against a full lobby of controller players, it just isn't a fair play, and unfortunately, you may be banned in the future for doing so. It looks like the Rainbow devs are actively looking for solutions, and it's tough because mouse and keyboard hookups, especially with those third-party dongles like Zims, the console reads them as just another normal controller, and so until they find a way to bypass this, it's going to be a challenge to actually detect it. But honestly, who better to look for this kind of feedback than the ones actually experiencing this stuff? And so guys, now is your chance. What are some options the devs can take to finally rid console of this issue that's been here since the very beginning? And even if you don't have any solutions, do you consider it cheating? Next up, we're going to get into the next generation of gaming, because as the whole world should be aware, the PlayStation 5 console has been revealed, and even after the coming out party, there's been some new details that just make it something to be looking forward to. And so let's talk about it. Now, the memes are out about the PS5's looks. Everything from the console being a duck's beak to a new mansion in the Hollywood Hills to even a hot dog, believe it or not. Like, everyone has taken a jab at how it looks, but Sony have come out and addressed the presentation of this thing, and it's a bit fascinating. Just hear this from PlayStation CEO. We wanted to do something that was bold and daring almost. We wanted something forward-facing and future-facing, something for the 2020s. They also said things like they wanted to fit in your space as a piece of furniture, a piece that is striking and sparks conversation. Now guys, for a very long time, consoles have just been plain black or white boxes that sit sit in a shelf and kind of just fade to the back. And for the most part, that's all they've ever really needed to do. Now though, even with the Xbox Series X to some degree, they're bold, and no matter where you put these things, they're going to stick out. Now for me, when it comes to the PlayStation 5's design, I think it's just sexy. It's got curves. I love the color contrast, and the slim blue lights highlight it just enough that you know what you're looking at. And so for me, I'm happy with it. But there are a few other things to know about the new home for Rainbow Six Siege, and I suppose that's where we'll start. I've seen the comments and inquiries. Yes, Rainbow Six Siege will not only be playable on the PS5, but you won't have to rebuy the game. You'll be able to simply take out the disc from your PS4 and place it in your PS5, and you'll have access to everything on your account, like elites, weapon skins, and of course, your operators. Now, there are two versions of this new PlayStation. The traditional console with every feature, including the Ultra HD Blu-ray drive, and then a digital edition that removes the disc drive and offers a fully digital experience. PlayStation says this all comes down to player choice. They know a large majority of their player base buys only digital, whether it's games or media, and so they wanted to offer up a console that caters to them. But honestly, if you peel the curtain back a bit, a lot of that decision comes down to production cost. It just takes less resources to make a console without a disc drive, and it also guarantees that anyone that buys the digital version of the console is only ever going to buy digital goods, which cuts down on disc production and a lot of the other back-end costs. And so in the year 2020, it's an absolutely genius move. Now, I would hope the digital version is slightly less expensive, considering they did announce that everything else between the two editions is exactly the same. The same performance, the same design, and all of that. But of course, one is without the disc drive and the other is not. And so it only makes sense that the one without would cost a bit less. Now, I don't really want to get into the games all that much because that's not really what we do here, but they look great. As you probably know, the PS5 is targeting 4K at 60 frames per second natively, and so compared to today, we're looking at a massive graphical improvement. Now, as far as Rainbow Six Siege, there haven't been any plans to upgrade the game's performance in any way. It is essentially a port, and so don't expect to just get a PlayStation 5 and bleed frames all over the competition on PS4. The last bit here is about what the hardware includes. On the front, we've got a normal USB as well as a USB-C. The DualSense controller has a built-in speaker and microphone and supports the new 3D audio technology. And if you're wondering, yes, you can lay the console flat or horizontally. Of course, we're all still waiting on the official price point for the PS5 and the Series X for that matter. And for my guess, I'm going with $599 for the PS5 and $549 for the digital edition. Guys, with all the power packed into these machines, like new high-speed SSDs and ray tracing, they're going to be expensive. It just comes down to who's going to pull the trigger first and out the price of the new consoles. As a final bit here, IGN put out a size comparison between all of the most recent consoles, including both the Series X and the PS5, and it's actually surprising to say that the PS5, at least with the UHD player, will be the largest console ever made, even larger than the original Xbox One. Sony has always had the more slim and sleek design, and so to see them make such a beast early on in the new generation, again, it's new. These new systems are becoming more and more like PCs, and with all the power packed inside each one of them, it's kind of amazing to see the comparison to how they've been engineered to deal with it all. So yeah, we spent a good amount of time here, but this was an announcement that sent a shockwave throughout the entire gaming community, and I wanted to supply some thoughts. Guys, it should also be noted that around this time, E3 would have been happening, and due to the current situation, it has been canceled. And so hearing this stuff direct and through videos is really the only way to consume this content. And so there it is. But that's the video today, guys. I hope you loved it. Remember to subscribe. There's so many of you who've been here for a long time, and the last step is to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been Zen. I'm out.